Secretary of State Marco Rubio says Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has sabotaged U.S. efforts to try and negotiate an end to the war with Europe, as European leaders fear the U.S. will pull troops from the region after that Oval Office blow-up. Well, joining us now to discuss the latest headlines on the Hill is Washington insider Armstrong Williams. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Moving forward, what is the future, do you think, for these negotiations to really try and end the war? And should we be sending any more money to Ukraine when lawmakers say there are still billions that have been sent with no oversight?
You know, this should not be negotiated through the media and public. The cameras should have never rolled at the White House last week. Obviously, Zelenskyy was rude and ungrateful. And if the cameras were not rolling, this would have never been a big issue. Zelenskyy is also being influenced by former Biden and Harris administration officials who really don't want him to sign a mineral deal with Trump. Zelenskyy has to come to the reality that Trump is his only source to bring any kind of closure to this insane war. Millions of people have died. Russia is not going to lose the war. Ukraine cannot win. Mothers and fathers, sons died on the battlefield. So Zelenskyy is going to have to humble himself. And if he needs to apologize for what happened in the White House and get the deal done. Because the United States is the only game in town. No matter what Britain and Europe says in terms of more money and more troops, it's meaningless. He has nothing without the support of the United States.
And he says he still wants to take the deal. Do you think it's going to get done, and under what circumstances now?
Privately, it will get done.
Okay.
It's in our best interest. It's in his best interest. And no matter how much Trump can sympathize with Putin, because they've gone through similar circumstances with propaganda, he still must understand that Putin is a threat, must be checked. No, Ukraine should not join NATO. We should not further threaten Putin. We should have tried to work and negotiate with all parties. That is what's needed right now to end this war, through diplomacy.
Yeah. I want to talk about what President Trump introduced last week, these new stipulations for the green card, as well as the gold card to get foreigners to invest in America. What was your thoughts on this?
It's nothing new. It happens all the time, Jan. I mean, obviously, it's different seeing it in print. You pay $1 million for this. This is what a lot of businesses do. They guarantee they'll put money in the economy, they'll create jobs, because you want to make sure that business is legitimate and they're willing to put skin in the game. It's nothing to do. This is just the way we do business in this process.
I want to also ask you about black businesses and other minority groups who are now starting to go against DEI, calling it a scam. In fact, here is one tweet that you pointed out. It states in part, "The game is rigged and the data doesn't lie. DEI was never about us. It's just another bait and switch that leaves black businesses starving while everyone else feasts off our struggle. The time for illusions is over. Black economic power must be built, not begged for." What's your thoughts, Armstrong?
You know, I sent John Hope Franklin, who's a big-time business guy in Chicago, I sent that to 20 different people. Members of Congress, mayors, and not one person disagreed with what he said. They just cannot say it publicly. They know DEI is a failure, and it's being whispered. It's being whispered loudly. Minority businesses have always been the least benefit, and others have benefited on the backs of their struggle. It's nothing new.
Washington insider Armstrong Williams, always great to see you, sir. Hope you have a great week. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jan.